We are unbound, free, unshackled. We push the limits in the most powerful cars. Cars we don't pay for.
Which is all funded by the citizens of Redview County with California-type taxes. Also, narration.
I am not you. I am the life you're too scared to live. You are asleep. I am awake. I am the reality show. The catalyst. The 15 minutes you'll never have. You want to know why I do this? I want to know why you don't.
Because bills to pay, common sense, and serving the community. Even if certain officers just do one of those three things.
We are the enemy of freedom.
I will run.
We are the shadow you can't
I will
shake.
never stop.
We will hunt you.
You will never catch
We
me.
will not stop.
You will make me
We are
famous.
everywhere.
You will fail.
We will break.
You are my
You
challenge.
are our enemy. You are our target.
You guys are talking to each other so fast to the point that I can't even understand who's talking at the moment. Discount YouTube.
The mayor took time out of his busy schedule today to visit Officer John McManus at Redview County Hospital.
There's a hospital in this game? Cause I've driven around the county and I have never seen a legit city building. Or even a legit city for that matter.
If there is one lesson the police should learn from this, it's that they can't keep up with us.
Cause you guys have turbos while they have to rely on rubber banding. Cause tax dollars don't go to performance, it just goes straight to new vehicles. Rare vehicles for that matter. And Pursuit Tech, which I don't know how you and other racers can get their hands on it.
Officer McManus pushed his limit, but ours was further. They say we endanger the public, but they are the ones who aren't in control. But they don't want the truth. They want revenge for a crime that was never committed.
I mean, you technically ran away from the cops, so that's a crime. Assuming that's you that recorded the video and uploaded it. And speaking of the video, why can't we see it distinguish if Zephyr, somebody else wrecked McManus, or he wrecked himself out?
The police were our rivals.
Roll credits.
Internal Affairs says it is expanding its investigation into excessive force accusations against members of the department. And the police chief announced he is suspending all patrols. In the meantime, the FBI's vehicle response team has been called in to secure the city until the police are cleared of wrongdoing.
Now we have a new enemy, the VRT, ex-Special Forces and ex-Street Racers. The kind that carry a grudge. They don't play by the same rules the cops do. Their only purpose is to end you.
So, would they also aggressively take down somebody on foot? Tri-City Bay style?
They say fate is a racer. But to those of us who have seen his shadow in our rear view, his tactics are unmistakable. There are those who drive for freedom, for release, and there are those who drive to release their aggression, to dominate. Fate isn't one of us. Fate is a cop.
Well, now you know that he's an undercover cop, that his purpose is just to throw people in a slammer. But you also have to keep in mind that it's not just him doing it. Others can do it as well.
The police seek to corrupt us from the inside. If they are going to use our cars to send a message, we will use theirs. Tonight, I will wear the wolf's clothing.
And that right there solidifies that you now have the biggest ball joints to spray paint your name on a Nagara R. But it's a bummer that we can't keep it, if you know what I mean. Driving it outside of its respective chapter. Forget my review, we got 2 more competitors that are definitely discount YouTube. Even though they're probably better than YouTube itself in terms of uploading videos of what you want to create. Matter of fact, if these were real, I would be uploading in one of these 3 on all 3 more often than here.
This is an open manifesto to all street racers. I am not your enemy. I am not a threat. I am your rival. I will make you drive harder. I will give you purpose. The police have called us a network of racers and classified us as an organized criminal enterprise. Until today, this was a lie. Until today, we were not organized, and we were not a coordinated network of outlaws.
But everyone sees you all like this because there is no other types of crimes in this county. Alright, the screen went black just to remind you that this game had like less than a year to be developed, and this is the only in-game cutscene we get. Aside from the introduction cutscene, if you want to count that. And no, the videos that we've seen on the cutscenes, they're just part of the cutscene, not the cutscene itself, if you know what I mean.
We are coming to you with live footage from Redview County, where the racer known as Zephyr has just been involved in a horrific high-speed collision with local police units. Paramedics are making their way to the crash site as we speak, but from this vantage point, it's hard to picture anyone surviving a wreck like that.
Wow, that's crazy. But can you move the helicopter so we can see the aftermath? At this point, I'm just starting to believe that there is a light and somebody is setting a tree on fire.
I am the reality show. The 15 minutes you'll never have.
They say EA is just too stubborn to tell developers add a cockpit view camera. But when they do, it's always gonna be in a cutscene, even if it's not really well made.
They say speed kills. But if you aren't speeding, then you aren't living.
If you're wondering how's his car running, he's still got some life in his damage meter, so he's fine. For now. Hopefully he makes it to the closest gas station.
There are only two types of people driving this fast. Cops and criminals. People accuse us of using excessive force because we put people in the wall every now and then. But we aren't looking for a fair fight. We have to win every single time we turn our lights on, or the public loses faith that we can defend them.
That line hits so differently when an officer just decides to take it too far in today's society.
After a video of a street racer was posted online, dozens of other racers have begun uploading copycat videos. It appears that what was once an anonymous underground sport is now become a sport of viral reality show, with racers embracing and even seeking out notoriety,
while achieving it with invisible cameras that we don't get to see attached to their cars inside and out. I've been wondering, where or how did Ghost and Criterion got these videos for the cutscenes? And I'm not talking about the in-game videos that is part of the cutscenes from the game itself. I'm talking about the other videos that are recorded in real life, basically.
The mayor visited Officer John McManus today as he recovered from his injuries at Redview County Hospital. While street racing in Redview County has caused thousands of dollars in property damage, this is the first time it has crossed the line.
First time? For one officer? Were there any events similar to this in the past?
Newton's third law says that for each action, there must be an equal and opposite reaction. Force must always be met with force.
Fate can teach better science than my science instructor.
I am not you. I am the dirt under your nails. I am the sin you deny at confession. The public asks us to defend them, sanctioning whatever violence it takes. They use terms like necessary force to shelter themselves from the fact that they have sent us to beat, maim, and kill the people who do the same to them. Deep down, they know they need us, because everyone wants security. But only a few are willing to accept the price.
Partially 25 to 50% the reason why the police should never be defunded, 2020 colorized.
We tried to play by the rules. And where did that leave us? Chained up on the side of the road like dogs. Forced to watch as the racers mock us. We used to rely on strength and unity. A brotherhood bound by honor. Believing that in a just universe, justice would prevail. If we want to win, we need to play by a new set of rules. Our enemies operate outside the law. So too must we. We will infiltrate their world.
You mean just you choosing to do unnecessary voluntarily undercover work that'll eventually bite you in the ass when the Force finds out about your actions?
Welcome to VRT selection, candidate. There's a reason we don't take many cops in VRT. We're brought in when you fail. After us, there's no one else to call.
So we're ghosting other groups like the SWAT team and the military. So, no footage of the accident? I mean, yeah, you did technically complete the mission, but that's one thing and the cutscene can tell you another.
An officer from the FBI's vehicle response team remains in critical condition after a collision with the outlaw racer, Zephyr. While authorities will not release the name of the injured officer, our sources tell us the officer has already been terminated from the force for his reckless actions.
Remember this, the Venom GT is only used as a placeholder of whatever you may be driving, even if you were driving the Venom. But this is supposed to be a thicker and faster Lotus at Siege. Why is there smoke coming from the front? Or the front of the car, since I know it's not an actual trunk in the front.
Just when it seems the racing epidemic is over, a new video has surfaced of the racer known as Fate, who has taken Zephyr's spot as the top racer in Redview County. In it, he issues a challenge to all racers.
And that challenge is go around the map in reverse. Obviously, this isn't one of the greatest games of the franchise, but at least it's not totally the worst of them all. You gotta say that it's impressive that Criterion, in collaborating with upstarting Ghost, managed to do this in less than a year. But you can't really be impressed with the gameplay. I'm not gonna go too much in detail because I'm pretty sure you already know how that game turned out until 2015. But if you haven't played this game or never seen it before, long story short, it's a mess. You can drive, yes, but when you crash and handling wise, and the police sometimes, it's a mess. The story, at first it was confusing until I did my research and understood the premise of it, but it's not bad. Really, it's not that bad, actually. Yeah, you might get confused at first, but once you get it, it all makes sense. And, I don't know, to me, I don't know about you, but when you think about the Most Wanted 2 failed concept, that it was supposed to have a story in 2012, and you compare it to this, I'd say this is the closest thing that we can get to it. Not exactly, obviously, but in terms of the tone and feeling, that's what I mean, that's the closest. I understand that the game didn't have much development, so therefore there are not that many in-game cutscenes like the introduction cutscene, the cutscene where Zephyr crashes, and sort of that flashback scene that we've seen from previous videos on Fate after the news network mentioned about his termination. But it just needed more, but at least it's still cool, but some questionable in terms of where did Ghost and Criterion gather the cutscenes from. You know, the video cutscenes that I mentioned in the video, like society causing the chaos, police entering into a building, basically swatting, and all that stuff. And even the hospital. Where did they got him from? Police in general, it's a war zone. Just think of undercover as busted cutscenes. But everybody is in a car coming to hunt you down. That's what it's like, and even with the pursuit tech. Unless if you're good at being a racer, I say being a police officer is a lot easier. Yeah, you don't get things like turbo or performance upgrades, but at least you get free cars as a cool perk. And speaking of cars, you know, it's just, bro, why do some cars that are on the police campaign don't show up in the racer campaign? And especially certain cars with their sounds. Yeah, the Carrera GT, remember that? V8? When did I drop 2 cylinders? And as a racer, don't you just hate it when the police just start a pursuit with you when you're idling or in a parking lot or the outside of your safe house garage? Now, something about the story that makes me question about McManus, you know, the guy that basically got injured so bad to the point that the story went from a rivalry to a war. What was really the footage? So, on the cutscenes, you may have seen a police Carrera TT crash out. So, was that him that crashed and got severely injured? And if that was, we've seen worse accidents, so that can't cause him to get injured, right? And yeah, injuries happen no matter what type of accident. But you know the mess that this game is, and you know you've seen worse and experienced worse. All I'm saying is, it would have been better to just go and investigate on the ones whom were responsible instead of everyone. And this is where I run out of things. Music is alright. Join my Discord. Subscribe. I'm out. Mention something that I forgot, because that's how I am. Like I said, it's not that I don't want to review it. It's either don't want to make the video too long, I completely forgot, or it's not that significant to mention.